Hey weebs and weirdos! This time I'm talking about an anime you probably never heard of, or if you have, you probably haven't heard of it in a while. And hopefully, if you've already seen this, you could totally geek out with me. You're probably wondering why I'm not using the TV even though I just set up the thing. It was because I was using my computer on the TV. Now, guess what? I have a proper monitor! Wow, the computer thing! Monitor, wow! It's like the cheapest one you could possibly ever have, but it's there. This anime that I watched when I was younger called Chrono Crusade! Story time, okay? Growing up, I didn't really have cable for a lot of the time, right? Didn't have internet, so a lot of the things that I watched were on discs or were on VHS, stuff like that. Often had anime on disc. And when I was going through a lot of my old movies and stuff, I unpacked Chrono Crusade, which I think might just be one of my favorite animes, and I'm going to tell you why. For this video, I'm going to avoid spoilers, but I will talk about the first season or so about the show to give you context about the characters, what I think about them, what I think about the show overall, and to tell you why you should watch it. I am pretty sure when my mom picked this up for me, she didn't expect this lady on the back to be there. When I first got this disc, I pretty much put it off for a while. I wasn't sure what kind of show it would be like, because I understood that there were different types of animes and how some can be a little more adult than others, specifically ecchi, and that is what I was worried about when I picked this up because, well, look at her big tittle bitties. The funny part is, after watching it, I realized that I was kind of close. It's not an ecchi, but there's a lot of fan service in it, which, you know, anime, a lot of it has fan service. There's a few shots of things looking a little more adult. I don't hate ecchi, it's just I like some things not being adult content. That's it. I like having options. The start of the show is a little weird, because when I first got into it, it kind of felt like you were thrown in the middle of the plot. There is no build-up, there's no training scene, there's no nothing. You're smack dab in the middle of everything. So when I first watched this show, I thought, wow, there has to be some kind of show before this. Kind of like how Dragon Ball takes place before Dragon Ball Z type of thing. But I'm pretty sure there isn't, or if there is, I don't know. You get thrown into pretty much a fight scene right away, and what you learn about these characters is very important because they come with real serious consequences. It is one of those shows with those tropes where there is a character whose life force is basically being eaten up to get access to power, right? One character unlocks this demon form, so then he has to use another person's life force to create that magic. And what happens to Rosette in turn is that she gets a shortened lifespan every time that Chrono unlocks his power. And I love how in this show it does genuinely affect the characters. It is not just some throwaway scene where it's used to add pressure to the plot. In reality, there is actual consequences to this action, which I love, and it's really nice to see that happen. There's demons, and then there's these sisters who are basically the equivalent of demon hunters, but they're dressed like nuns. You know that there's some people who are Christian who find that when people use, Christian stuff for a different purpose to be a little offensive. I don't know. I'm not Christian, so if that's not your thing, I can understand why. But I know for a fact that Chrono Crusade is not the only story that uses demons and Christian stuff to create a plot. I feel like it takes more of a focus than most shows, particularly in the sense of there's certain themes that are relevant, like apostles. It's a reimagined version of certain Christian things into a fantasy world, if that makes sense. One thing that I could truly respect about this show is that during fight scenes or like battle sequence or whatever, when Chrono is fighting and stuff alongside Rosette, is that their fight scenes represents a lot about their relationship to each other, which I find really interesting, because when they're fighting, there's a lot of like communication there, or like silent understandings, because you can tell that they've been battling for a very long time and that they're not like newbies, because they've known each other for a long time and they have a lot of this bond with each other and deeper understanding. So we're not really seeing their relationship develop because they've already known each other. There's this huge focus more on the plot than personal development, but there is still character growth. It is very, very plot driven. They're both helping each other towards basically the same goal. Rosette is trying to find her brother, but it's really, really sad if you cannot tell by what I've told you so far. I definitely feel like it is very, very depressing. You are going to cry a lot if you're the type to cry during shows and stuff. I know that I definitely am the type to cry during shows and stuff. I sometimes always stop at the specific part in the plot because the ending is so terribly tragic. I must warn you, it is definitely worth the watch. And I feel like that other people would really love this. I don't know. Does anyone else know about this show? Please tell me about it, because I don't know anyone in my real life who knows about it until, well, like, I talk about it. I'm trying to get the entire internet to watch this show now, or at least my subscribers. Watch it, please. One thing that I love about this world is that it feels very lived in, and it feels like that the side characters, they have entire lives, entire backstories, instead of just being there to further along the plot or just to support the main characters, which is something that I really respect into a fantasy series, because world building has always been a huge yes for me. There is kind of somewhat of a romance subplot, but it is so small compared to the grand scheme of things of the story. So if you're looking for some kind of like crazy romance story, this isn't really the series for you. It's not that romance doesn't exist in it, it does. It's just often correlated to the plot. And so it's not a romance series, right? I feel like that it's more of like a shonen fantasy kind of deal. I will not spoil you the ending, but I will tell you this much, which is basically that the ending isn't exactly a cliffhanger, but it does imply a secondary series. So I'm not sure if there is one. I tried looking into it and the animation looks a bit different. I'm not sure if it's like the same series or not. I'll throw it on here if I find it. But if anyone knows if there is a secondary part to this series, or like if they thought they were going to continue the series and they didn't, please tell me. Or I've never read the manga. If there is a manga, also please tell me, because this is something that was like randomly picked up, right? And I don't know how big of a series it is, because I don't know anyone who knows this series. Nobody really talks about it. It's not one of those shows that people pick up later. I haven't heard anything related to it at all. I don't want my interest to stay niche. I'm not gonna gatekeep. I want people to talk about this show with. We're coming up to the end of the video. I have to ask though, do you guys like these recommendation videos? I need you guys to tell me what kinds of videos you guys like, because often enough the videos that get popular are not always the videos that people love. Sometimes they get popular for different reasons, and I'm not the best at understanding the YouTube algorithm. So please let me know in the comments what you enjoy or what future videos you want me to do. I do pay attention to the comments, and sometimes I feature your guys' ideas or your suggestions. And I am a treat, if you haven't forgotten. I have a Ko-fi for donations if you want to check it out. It is not mandatory, please don't. It's all just stuff to put back into my channel. And I suck at outros. If you find me interesting, I'll probably have videos up here you might want to check out. Bye!